Have you ever stood in the middle of a forest, surrounded by nothing but the sound of rustling leaves and the distant call of a bird, and felt like something was watching you? Something ancient, something unseen, something that doesn't belong to this world. What if I told you that nature itself holds secrets so dark, so inexplicable, that they defy all logic and science? From forests that glow with an otherworldly light to skies that roar with no explanation, the natural world is filled with phenomena that leave even the most seasoned scientists baffled. Are these events simply quirks of nature, or is there something more sinister at play? Something that doesn't want to be understood? Let's dive into the unexplained, and uncover the horrors that lurk in the shadows of the natural world. The first thing you need to understand is that nature is not always as peaceful as it seems. Beneath the surface of every tranquil forest, every serene lake, and every quiet desert, there are mysteries that defy explanation. Take, for example, the Devil's Kettle in Minnesota. It's a waterfall that splits into two streams, one flows normally into Lake Superior, while the other plunges into a deep, dark hole in the rock, and disappears. Scientists have tried to solve the mystery by dropping dye, GPS trackers, and even ping-pong balls into the hole, but nothing has ever been found downstream. Where does the water go? Some say it flows into an underground river, while others believe it's a portal to another dimension. But there's a darker theory, one that locals whisper about when the sun goes down. They say that the Devil's Kettle is a gateway to hell, and that the water doesn't just disappear, it's consumed. They tell stories of people who've gotten too close to the edge, only to be pulled in by an unseen force, their screams echoing as they're dragged into the abyss. Whether it's true or not, one thing is certain: the Devil's Kettle is a place where the rules of nature don't apply, and where the unknown reigns supreme. Then there's the Blood Falls of Antarctica. Deep in the frozen wasteland, there's a glacier that bleeds. It was first discovered in 1911, when explorers noticed a crimson waterfall streaming from the Taylor Glacier. At first, they thought it was red algae, but the truth is far stranger. The water is rich in iron, which oxidizes when it comes into contact with the air, turning the falls a deep, blood-red color. But what's even more mysterious is the source of the water itself. Scientists believe it comes from a subglacial lake that has been isolated for millions of years, teeming with ancient microbes that survive without sunlight or oxygen. But there's something else down there, something that no one wants to talk about. Researchers who've ventured too close to the falls have reported hearing whispers in the wind, voices that seem to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Some have even claimed to see shadowy figures moving beneath the ice, their shapes distorted and inhuman. Could the Blood Falls be a glimpse into a world that existed long before humans walked the earth? Or is it something far more sinister, a place where the boundaries between life and death, between the natural and the supernatural, have begun to blur, but the mysteries of nature aren't confined to remote, frozen wastelands? In the small town of Taos, New Mexico, there's a sound that no one can explain. Known as the Taos Hum, it's a low-frequency noise that only a small percentage of the population can hear. Described as a distant diesel engine or a deep, vibrating hum, the sound is constant and inescapable for those who hear it. Some believe it's caused by underground machinery, while others think it's the result of secret government experiments. But the most chilling theory is that the hum is a form of infrasound, a frequency so low that it can cause feelings of unease, paranoia, and even hallucinations. Those who've experienced the Taos Hum describe it as a living thing, a presence that follows them wherever they go, whispering in their ears and driving them to the brink of madness. Could the Taos Hum be a natural phenomenon, or is it something far more sinister, a sound that doesn't belong to this world? Before we continue, if you're fascinated by these mysteries of the natural world, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. The more people who join us, the deeper we can dive into the unexplained. And trust me, there's plenty more where this came from. Now, let's talk about the Hessdalen Lights of Norway. In the remote Hessdalen Valley, strange lights have been appearing in the sky for decades. These glowing orbs hover silently above the valley, changing colors and shapes before vanishing without a trace. Scientists have studied the phenomenon for years, but no one can explain what causes the lights. Some believe they're the result of natural gas igniting in the atmosphere, while others think they're evidence of extraterrestrial activity. But there's a darker side to the Hessdalen Lights, one that locals don't like to talk about. They say that the lights are not just a phenomenon, but a warning. Those who've gotten too close to the lights have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they're being watched by something far beyond human understanding. Some have even claimed to hear voices calling their names, urging them to step into the light. What lies behind the Hessdalen Lights? Is it a natural phenomenon, or is it something far more otherworldly, a force that doesn't want to be discovered? And then there's the moving stones of Death Valley. In California's racetrack playa, there's a dry lake bed where rocks seem to move on their own. These sailing stones leave long, winding tracks in the mud, as if they've been dragged across the ground. For years, scientists were baffled by the phenomenon, but in 2014, they finally captured the stones in motion. The explanation? A rare combination of ice, wind, and water causes the rocks to slide across the slick surface. But not everyone is convinced. Some believe the stones are moved by supernatural forces, or that the lakebed is a place where the laws of physics don't apply. Locals tell stories of strange lights and eerie whispers coming from the playa at night, as if the stones are alive, and watching. Could there be more to the moving stones than meets the eye? Or is it a reminder that nature is far more mysterious, and far more dangerous, than we can ever hope to understand? But perhaps the most terrifying of all is the Catatumbo Lightning of Venezuela. In the skies above Lake Maracaibo, there's a storm that never ends. Known as Catatumbo Lightning, this phenomenon produces thousands of lightning strikes every night, lighting up the sky for hours on end. Scientists believe the storms are caused by a unique combination of warm air, cool winds, and methane gas from the lake, but no one knows why they're so consistent. Locals, however, have their own theories. They say the lightning is the result of a curse, or that it's a sign from the gods. But there's a darker side to the Catatumbo Lightning, one that few are willing to talk about. Those who've witnessed the storms up close have reported seeing strange shapes in the clouds, figures that seem to move with the lightning, their eyes glowing with an unnatural light. Could the Catatumbo Lightning be a natural phenomenon, or is it something far more sinister, a force that doesn't belong to this world? The truth is, we may never fully understand the mysteries of nature. But one thing is certain, the world is far stranger, far more mysterious, and far more terrifying than we can ever hope to comprehend. So the next time you find yourself standing in the middle of a forest, or gazing up at a stormy sky, remember this: you are not alone. Something is watching, waiting, and it doesn't want to be found. If you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And stay tuned for more spine-chilling tales from the world of horror and mystery. Until next time, stay safe, and remember, the natural world is not always as peaceful as it seems.